This is where the jealousy of veterans benefits gets wild. I'm going to tell you a story about 20 before about 20 over 20 years ago before I got my 100% PNT at SSDI. I was a college student. I used my GI Bill to get my pipe fitting associate's degree. This shit was hilarious. Since I had no income whatsoever and I was a full-time college student, I was living with my ex-girlfriend on Section 8. Income zero. So I qualified to be on the lease with her because it was her apartment and she added me to the lease. So my income for being a full-time college student is not affecting her at all. At the same time, I am residing at my mother's house at the same time for completely for free. Had the keys to my mother's house. I'm going back and forth between two houses, managing full-time college schedule, full load. And comes time to renew the lease or the agreement, and I have to show these people income or my proof of my bank statement or whatever, right? Because they want to see if you have income. And the lady got excited, and she thought I was going to have to back pay all of that shit. And I looked at her, and I smiled. And I said, ma'am, the funds that you're seeing in my bank account is my tax-free GI Bill. Also, I'm a disabled veteran. I looked at her and I smiled when I said that because she got pissed the fuck off. She knew that she could not do anything to me. When I graduated college and split from my ex-girlfriend, I took myself off the lease and moved on with my life because at that time I was required to get a job. So I had to take myself off the Section 8 and I moved on with my life. Got my own place and everything. These people literally thought they had me in a bind. Look, we have benefits that you don't have just for serving in the United States military. I was in the United States Army. They abused the shit out of me. That is why I'm 100% PNT and SSDI combined. I will never work again for the rest of my life. I have severe post-traumatic stress disorder with depression. I've been a disabled veteran for 20 years. Connection to service goes all the way back to 20 years. Actually, 21 years is when 21 years ago is when I first became a disabled veteran. We have endured things that the normal everyday citizen don't experience. The military sexual trauma thing is very real, and the military has been allowing this stuff to go on for quite some time. It's a lot more, the crimes that they're committing against other soldiers, it's a lot more than military sexual assault. That's not the only crime. They would love to bury it and pray it goes away, but I'm going to talk about it. There are several instances where unfair things have happened to soldiers and people in the military and veterans. It had one other incident 20 years ago where a man, he was unfortunately murdered by soldiers. He fell in love. I don't see a problem with this. Love who you want to love. I don't have a problem with who you love. As long as this person is over 18, I don't care. He fell in love with a transgender person. Don't have a problem with that. His personal business and her personal business. I don't have a problem with this at all. He fell in love with a transgender person. They killed him in the barracks room with baseball bats. Look that story up. There are several different incidents where these military members have gone rogue. Not to mention the numerous sexual assaults. And then there's one in recent history where the male soldier, sergeant rank, E5, sexually assaulted and raped numerous women. He got life in prison and unalived himself. I guarantee you, every single one of those women, their disability ratings are extremely high because of how traumatic that situation was. And that is definitely proven that he actually did that. So those women are getting paid. They're going to get their guaranteed paychecks. And for you to get on here and tell us that we didn't experience this, they told me when I was in Iraq that my sexual assault was in my imagination. They covered it up, tossed me out, and pretended like it didn't happen. The people that sexually assaulted me got away with it. Hence the maximum compensation that I receive. I'm 100% PNT, IU, and SSDI combined. The story doesn't stop at one sexual assault. I get out of the Army. I get a job at a security company. The boss that hired me, I used all of my gas to go over there in Dallas, Texas. Construction Protective Services. I use all of the gas in the car to go over there to get this job. I have no more gas in the car. I have no money. If this guy didn't hire me, I did not know what I was going to do. He hires me and sexually assaults me 4 more times and propositions me while I was on duty. He was my direct supervisor. I'm homeless, completely broke. I'm fucking pissed. But I already tried to fight this once, and the Army destroyed my life for it. You could only imagine if I had tried to fight this a second time. I was probably going to get instantly fired, and I had no help from my parents. When I told my parents I was sexually assaulted, my father told me we could not help you. That's the reason why my parents have been kicked out of my life. All these traumatic events in my life created a chain reaction of events in my life that was catastrophic. I lost everything I had. My life was destroyed. What I decided to do was, while I was in college, I used a portion of my GI Bill money and I paid for Taekwondo. I earned my first black belt at age 28. Now I'm in my 30s. At this point in time, I'm living in Indiana at age 37. I start Kuki-Wan Taekwondo as a white belt all the way over. I earned my second black belt at age 40. I filed for my SSDI checks in November of 2020, promoted to my second black belt in 2020. I got approved for SSDI disability due to PTSD with depression in 2021. 2022, I won the 100% PNT IU. Connection to service is about 21 years old. I am over 5 years at maximum disability pay. A decade. I'm about a decade in on maximum pay. Started at 10% in 21 years ago. I've been at absolute maximum pay for a decade now, for a full solid 10 years. Basically, I'm effectively stuck in this house and in this room. My mind no longer functions normally due to post traumatic stress disorder. If I go outside, I run the risk of losing complete control. That's the reason why I have a PlayStation 5 Pro, Xbox Series X, gaming PC, gaming monitor over there, and a 55-inch LG TV in front of me, what I'm looking at right now. All of that is to keep my mental health stable. This world has done so much damage to my life. I am selling my car in 2 years. I have voluntarily taken myself off the road permanently to sell my car so that way I can live a peaceful life for the rest of my life without any bullshit. No more traffic. No more toll roads. No more traffic jams. I'm done with it all. Anything that could spike my anger has been eliminated out of my life. Basically, the reason why I built a video game arcade in my bedroom. My wife and the dog sleeps in the bigger bedroom back there. This is the smallest room in the house, and I turned it into a bedroom. This was formerly my wife's office. We pulled all her stuff out. She distributed all her stuff throughout the house and made the living room her office. And then she took the bigger bedroom that's back there and put herself and the dog back there, and we made her office my bedroom. This is a $500 bed from IKEA that I sleep on. Bought this cash, and then all the electronics bought cash in here. I have a camera in here recording my room 24/7. So if my wife and I are out, I can pull up the footage on my phone and check on my bedroom anytime I want. So this is what they did to my life in complete detail. I have skipped over certain key details because it's not appropriate for social media at all. I cannot tell you exactly what they did to me. There's more. It's a lot more. There's a lot of details missing. And the part where how I got out of Iraq, I actually escaped Iraq. That's the reason why what they used to discharge me, but they give me an honorable discharge. That came back to bite them in the ass full circle, because I got all my benefits. Despite the fact that I served 2 years, I got everything. I got half my GI Bill. They were making fun of me for that. I got half my GI Bill, completed my socialist degree on it, and then I got my max disability pay. They pay me over triple what I was making as an E3. They thought they were going to just completely destroy my life, forget about it, and get away with it. Karma is a bitch. Like, I got all of my money back and then some, and stability for the rest of my life. The crazy part is I thought I was planning to, when I enlisted in the Army, it was to escape my parents. And then I had a plan that I was going to retire in 20 years. I was actually going to do a full 20 years, so I thought, up until they decided to abuse me in Iraq. And then I did something in Iraq that I cannot mention on this video. Let's just put it this way. I forced a medevac. That's all I'm going to say. What I did, I forced them to put me on a plane back to the United States and forced a medevac. And that was complete self-defense. And that's what they were pissed the holy hell about. Because I was not in Iraq, and I was going to escape that desert permanently. So they thought by giving me an honorable discharge was some kind of punishment. you made the biggest fucking mistake of your life when you decided to pull that stunt. Your honorable discharge gave me half my GI Bill, access to VA care, and then gave me an opportunity to file my claim. When it was all done and said, I am now at $5,500 a month tax-free for life. 100% PNT, IU, and SSDI combined. You're cooked. You should have never made that mistake. You should have kept your hands to yourself. But did they learn their lesson? No. They're still doing the shit to other veterans. And this is why I'm talking about it. They're still harassing other veterans and doing this shit and covering it up and pretending that they're not doing it. That is what the United States military has been doing to people. This is the truth. It is documented. I get paid for it. And it is, any Google search can uncover the military sexual assaults. If you type in military sexual assault or MST into a Google search, you will find out all about it. And veterans are getting paid for it. The United States military needs to stop doing this shit for real. And they need whatever laws they put in place needs to have some real teeth to it, because the cover-ups need to stop. The chain of command is protecting its own self. They investigate themselves, and they protect their own self, and they protect their own. And they will take the private and destroy the private's life. That is 100% the truth. Except you didn't get away with destroying this guy's life. So I went on. I earned 2 black belts in 2 styles. Currently working on my 3rd black belt. In less than a decade, I'll be a certified Taekwondo master with 3 black belts in 3 styles. Martial arts training is extensive. I started martial arts in 1997 at 17 years old before I joined the Army. I had advanced Taekwondo skills before the Army. This martial arts thing is not a new thing to me. I just continued my training after the abuse to enhance my abilities. Now I'm basically, compared to the average man that knows nothing, that person does not stand a chance against me. I have basically made myself unstoppable as compared to the average man. I'm not playing around anymore. So I am going to continue my extensive training and continue to enhance myself. I use several different weapons, swords, nunchucks. I use other forms of weaponry that I cannot mention on here. I've been cross-trained quite a bit. So, I'm not playing around with these people anymore. But that's just a small snippet of what my full capabilities are. I will never work again for the rest of my life, and the government deserves that. They will never be able to tax me. I have no property tax. My wife owns this house. I don't have property. The only thing I own is money, and I did that on purpose. I'm selling my car, so once the car is sold, I will have no tangible assets under my name. This is being done on purpose to protect myself, because in the event that I have to defend myself, you're not going to be able to sue me for anything at all. So the only thing I own on this planet is money. That's it. I just pay the bills. I literally don't have to worry about anything, because even if I was single, I'm a married man. Even if I was single, and I would have a little apartment to myself, no car, and I would be doing the same exact thing that I'm doing right now in that little apartment. And I'll probably have a maid come in and clean it once a month. That basically, what that plan was, is what I'm doing right now, except I got married. I had no idea I was going to get married. That just happened. And now I have responsibilities. So now I am tasked with making sure this family, the task with making sure this family makes it in life. So there we have it. The marriage thing was quite random. I did not plan it. I just met Amy, and all of a sudden, 12 months later, we're married. That's how that worked out for me. I'm out of here.